In this video, I'll explain the purpose of the plank, demonstrate proper technique and common mistakes, and then offer some training modifications to match your current fitness level. First, the purpose of the plank is to strengthen the abdominal muscles and develop total body coordination so you can prevent excessive arching of the lower back. Here's what I mean by arching. This movement and position you're seeing right now is known as lumbar extension, and it occurs when the core muscles are relaxed. The plank position activates the core muscles in a way that reverses this lumbar extension and then prevents it from happening by maintaining tension around the spine. This kind of lumbar spinal stability is known as anti-extension, and it's very important for preserving the health of spinal structures as well as improving athleticism, because increased spinal stability allows for more efficient transmission of force through the spine and into the extremities. By training the plank, you can increase your performance in any exercise or activity that requires core strength and anti-extension stabilization, which is actually most exercises and activities. Here are some examples of common exercises that require plank-like bracing of the lumbar spine for optimal performance. Here is a squat with an unbraced core, unstable spine, and excessive arching. And here is a squat with a braced core and a stable, neutral spine. And here is a push-up with a relaxed core, which allows the lumbar spine to arch down towards the ground. Then here is a push-up with core engagement and proper spine positioning. Now on to proper technique. While supporting yourself on your forearms and toes, make sure that your hips and knees are fully extended. Once in this position, there are three primary technique components. 1. With your upper arms approximately perpendicular to the ground, clench your fists and push your shoulder blades and forearms down into the ground to stabilize your shoulders and upper back. 2. Reverse any excessive extension in your lower back by tucking your pelvis and then bracing your abdominals tightly to maintain this position. 3. Squeeze your quads and glutes to further stabilize your lower back and pelvic position. You'll want to continuously engage with all of these areas of tension for the entirety of the set, and that's how you perform the plank. And here are the three most common mistakes I see made in the plank. 1. Letting your shoulder blades slide back towards your spine. 2. Allowing your lumbar spine to arch. And 3. Allowing your glutes and quads to relax, which can lead to looseness in the lower back and pelvis. To correct each of these mistakes, simply ensure you are maintaining each of the three primary technique components I previously outlined. And for the last part of this video, here are some training modifications for the plank. If you were unable to hold the forearm plank for at least 10 seconds, here are some easier modifications you can use. The push-up plank. This involves the exact same technique as the forearm plank, except that your elbows are fully extended and you actively push your hands into the ground instead of your forearms. The more vertical torso position reduces the challenge of stabilizing your spine. If the push-up plank is still too challenging, you can perform this modification on raised surfaces like yoga blocks or a bench. The more vertical the torso position, the easier the plank will be. If you can easily perform at least 3 sets of 30 seconds with the forearm plank and would like to increase the challenge, here are some harder modifications you can use, each one becoming progressively more difficult. Extended forearm plank. By increasing the distance between your points of contact with the ground, you have to work harder to stabilize your spine. You can progressively make this plank modification more challenging by gradually increasing the distance between your elbows and toes. One-armed push-up plank. By reducing one of your points of contact with the ground, you are forced to stabilize your body in an asymmetrical position, which introduces new challenges to lumbar spinal stability. In addition to avoiding arching your lower back, you'll have to avoid side bending and twisting motions of the lumbar spine by keeping your hips and shoulders square with the ground beneath you. One-armed forearm plank. This involves the same challenges as the one-armed push-up plank, except that the difficulty is amplified because the more horizontal torso position means you have to work harder to stabilize your spine. To progress any plank modification you start with, you can gradually increase the time duration per set, increase sets, reduce rest intervals, and work towards the more challenging plank modifications over time. Before transitioning to a harder modification, aim to be able to complete at least 3 sets of 30 seconds with whatever modification you are currently at. That's it for this video on the plank. If you found this core training information helpful and you think it would be helpful for others too, please like the video, share it, and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.